Well, the Mario movie trailer finally dropped, and I gotta be honest with you, it's a pretty good. Like I said in the previous video, Mario is my family, so I want to see him excel in all of his endeavors, whether that be insanely dangerous kart racing, or being a doctor selling brightly colored pills that look dangerously similar to Mike and Ike's, or being a Hollywood movie star, or,
stomping Koopas.
I think he forgot what Mario is. I gotta be real with you though, despite my enthusiasm and optimism in my previous video, I walked away from the upload page with a lot more anxiety than I let on. I had my doubts, but after I saw that trailer, 90% of my worries were just alleviated. The lowest hanging fruit is Chris Pratt's voice, who isn't quite as Italian as you might expect. He's more of the fucking New Yorker with the fucking stromboli and the New York style pizza. You call this a pizza? This is a pizza. You call this a pizza? Ayy, forget about it. Personally, I'm not way too upset about this. He almost sounds like he did in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which they should totally reboot. But no matter how you feel about Crispy Rat, there is no question that the real star of the show is Jack Cornelius Black as Internet Browser. Jackie Black hasn't trimmed his beard since Kung Fu Panda 2, and for this reason he is the perfect choice for Bowser, because if Bowser could grow a beard, he would never cut it. Bowser has always been a larger-than-life character who thinks highly of himself and is relentless in his power-hungry endeavors. His qualities would be considered aspirational if he wasn't the villain of the story. And Jack Black brings him to life in a spectacular way. I was worried that his portrayal would be too comical and weird, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of funny moments in the actual movie, but the trailer itself captured the other things that make Bowser who he is. He is power. He is strength. He is just a big motherfucker, and Jack Black is doing him a most profound and exquisite justice. And just like that, I am no longer worried about this movie. Come hell or high water, this will be worth watching when it comes out. Toad sounds great too. I think Keegan-Michael Key makes him sound just squealy enough to be believable as Toad, but without getting annoying after half an hour. Could you imagine a 100-minute movie where Toad sounds like "Wah-wah"? Just imagine me making that sound for an hour and a half. Kevin Michael Richardson has one line as Kamek, which sounds great, and we got to hear Charlie Day scream like a bitch for 3 seconds. No crack jokes, unfortunately, so that was a bit of a downer. I think the trick with the acting in this movie was not necessarily to sound as close as possible to the characters in the game so much, but more to sound like something cohesive to the rest of their character, so it translates better to organic person-to-person conversations, and I think the world-famous film theorist Video Game Donkey put it best when he said, "Whether you're making a movie about talking cars, talking bugs, talking toys, or talking fish, we, the audience, still expect them to talk and act like human beings." And in a narrative film, that takes precedence over whether or not the characters sound exactly like they do in the video games. I still think Charles Martinet could have made it work in spite of what everyone says about hearing, "Yeah, wahoo!" for an entire movie, but I think this is gonna be great anyway. That being said, I am still really itching to know who Charles is playing in the movie, because we still don't know. That is, unless he was in the trailer and I just didn't recognize his voice. Which would definitely speak to his talent as a voice actor. I mean, this dude was in Skyrim and Dragon Ball Z. Like, he gets around. Some things do raise a couple of questions. I played all the mainline Marios and a good chunk of the Mario spin-offs, and even though a lot of them do have penguins in them, I don't remember a militaristic penguin clan with catapults and shit. What? What the fuck is this now? Penguins have been a staple in the Marios since at least Mario 64, but I did not think they would become a major character in the movie. Not really a complaint so much as an observation. One thing that is a little bit closer to a complaint is how Mario is contextualized within the universe. He gets blasted into the Mushroom Kingdom, looks around and goes, "What is this place? Hey, I'm Chris Pratt." This seems to suggest it's closer to a fish out of water story, like the Sonic movie, where he gets blasted into a world that he's unfamiliar with and has to get acquainted with it. People have thrown around the word isekai a lot, but I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to use that word because I don't want to sound like an idiot. Specific details beyond that are largely unclear, and the idea that Mario is not acquainted with the Mushroom Kingdom is a tiny bit underwhelming. but based on everything else the trailer shows us, I really do think they can pull it off. Besides, it's not the first time Mario has been written in a way similar to this, like how the entire game of Super Mario Bros. 2 is an elaborate dream sequence, or 3 is a stage play. You know, it's kinda like Legend of Zelda. It's a story that is intended to be interpreted and reinterpreted until the end of time. Now let's talk about what we actually got to see in the trailer. The shot shown off in the poster can also be seen way in the background of this shot, so it's nice to know that was a little bit more than just a generic promotional image. It is also worth noting that even though Peach wasn't shown off in the trailer, her face has been leaked by none other than McDonald's, which is the greatest thing they've ever done since that one time they fucked up and severely undercharged me for a McMuffin. That was a good day. Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong were also a no-show, which was a little bit sad. I really wanted to hear how stupid-ass Seth Rogen's impression of dumbass Donkey Kong sounds. And also, we haven't gotten a Donkey Kong game since 1907, so any DK content is welcome at this point. Even if the Nintendo America Twitter account just tweets out a JPEG of his feet, like that'll probably set the internet on fire. Setting Donkey Kong feet aside for a minute, visually, the movie looks absolutely bonkers. And that's not an exaggeration. It looks way better than I ever could have imagined it would. The trailer opens with this scene of Bowser's mighty flying fortress dropping these spiky balls into the ice, and it goes like psh, and it's really badass, and then there's ice and shit flying everywhere and fireballs slamming into the ground and destroying everything, lava pouring out, buildings collapsing. When you think Illumination, you think shit-ass minions. It is not the first thing that comes to mind when you start talking about jaw-dropping animation, you know? It ain't DreamWorks, and it definitely ain't Pixar. So when I saw Bowser menacingly advancing on these punk-ass penguins with his hair flying in the wind and his super detailed skin and shell textures, and then melt an entire castle of ice with his breath alone, and you got all this smoke and steam effects colliding with each other, I was like, dude, this studio made Despicable Me 3. What kind of racehorse steroids has Nintendo been giving these guys to make it look this good? This is a Super Mario movie, so it makes sense that they wouldn't fuck about with it, especially with Miyamoto on board, but goody goddamn, this is just too good. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the scene at the end where Luigi is running from the dry bones in terror. That sounds exactly like something he would do. And that's another thing, the trailer does a very good job at actually capturing the personalities as well. And another thing I'm really happy about is the direct involvement of Koji Kondo as a composer. This man has been the mastermind behind the music that makes Mario and Zelda for decades. I mean, for God's sake, the man made Dire Docks, you know what I'm saying? He made the Ocarina of Time Hyrule Field theme. This is the man you want in your Mario movie. If I don't hear some version of Dire Docks in this movie, I am gonna start a riot. In the direct, Miyamoto spoke very highly of the team and the movie, so it seems that the project has his full confidence, which is a very good sign. More than could be said for the old Mario movie. All of the signs seem to be pointing in the direction of this movie being good. The trailer demonstrates a reassuring level of competence on every front, and really, that's what a trailer is supposed to do. So I give the Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer a 9.8 out of 10. As for the movie, I guess I just have to pray to the ghost of Toad's Worth that it doesn't get delayed again. What happened to Toad's Worth, huh? Is he dead? Because if he is, I missed the funeral.